We have a huge Quinn Hughes injury update ahead of a massive game against the Calgary Flames tonight that is going to have the biggest stakes of any Canucks regular season game so far this season. We're going to be breaking down all of that in this episode of Canucks Digest. But first, before we hop into that, I want to let you guys know about a special offer, and I'm going to let Mark take it away from here.
We're kicking off a March Madness bracket for the channel. We are partnered with the Hot Takes app and other Digest channels for this event. It's completely free to sign up. Just download the Hot Takes app, click the March Madness banner at the top, and under group, select the Digest Media Pool. This is really exciting as there's over $25,000 in prizes to be won, and there's such a smaller pool of people participating, there's a real chance at winning big. Check out the link below or scan the QR code to download the app. Make sure to use the promo code DIGEST in all caps to get exclusive perks when signing in. Main event competition will start on March 16th, and if you have any trouble, reach out to us in the email that will be down below in the description. Once again, I want to give a huge thank you to Hot Take for partnering with us on this amazing competition.
Thanks for that, Mark. And with that, let's hop into the first topic of the day, which is Quinn Hughes' game status. And this is coming right from Rick Tocchet himself, saying it's a good possibility he could be in. And now this could not come at a better time for the Canucks, because the 25-year-old Quinn Hughes has missed a total of 14 games this season with the Vancouver Canucks, going 6-6-2, and at times have missed the offense he brings in a big way, which is ironic for a defenseman. In 50 games this season, Hughes has registered 60 points, 14 goals, 46 assists, 27 penalty minutes, and a +10 rating, despite missing 21% of his team's games in 2024-2025, and still remains in the mix to be a finalist for the Norris Trophy. Now, obviously, we know how valuable Quinn Hughes is to this team. Obviously, he is our captain. Now, the reason why this is so big is this is coming at the perfect time for the Canucks as far as him coming back in. I know we would have loved to have had him back for these past few games that we have unfortunately lost and not played great at all in, really. Last night, we made a bit of an attempt to come back against Montreal, but it just wasn't enough. And yes, I can't help but think that if Quinn Hughes was on that ice, we would have won that game for sure, because we were able to get within one goal without him. So having him on the ice, I think we definitely had a really good chance at winning that game. But that's not to say we didn't play an entirely terrible game last night. Filip Hronek is someone who definitely has stepped up in the absence of Quinn Hughes, probably the most out of any player. However, having the captain back, you need that, especially for this game that's not only against a division rival, but it's against a team that is in the playoff hunt with us. And this is going to be a massive swing for the Canucks if they are able to get this win. And that's going to take us into our second topic of the day, which is the biggest topic of today, and that is the highest stakes of the year with this game. And we see here from Jeff Patterson, where last night he tweeted out that the Canucks remained at 69 points on the year after the loss to Montreal. If they go 10-8 down these last 18 games, that'll get them to 89 points. Probably not enough for the playoffs. 11-7 gets them to 91, maybe enough. 12-6 down the stretch will get them to 93 points, and that'll probably be enough to get them into the playoffs. And when looking at the standings right here, we're going to look at it a few times in this video, but as well, when you look at the standings, you have Minnesota up there at the top of the wild card race. It's going to be very tough to catch them. It's definitely going to be a fight for that second wild card spot, where Calgary can get into a commanding lead if they get the win tonight against Vancouver. And then you also have St. Louis and Utah also right on their tails. Anaheim is starting to creep up a little bit, but they're not a problem as of yet. However, they are still in our division and still have beaten us head-to-head many times, a few times this season as well. But St. Louis and Utah, those guys are going to be really tough coming up down the stretch, especially with St. Louis on the heater that they are on right now, playing really good hockey. And as far as the playoff chances for this game, if the Canucks beat the Flames in regulation, our playoff chances jump up to 9.3%, or jump up to 33.6, going up 9.3 from where they are currently at. If we lose, we drop down to 16.1, dropping down 8.3%. If we beat them in the OT, drops up to 30.5. If we lose in OT, 21.6. This is a 4-point game for either side tonight. You're earning 2 points, but also stealing 2 points away from your closest competition in the division. The Flames can jump up at nearly 50% at 43.5% with a regulation win, but drop to over 11% and drop below the Canucks with a regulation loss. So obviously the Canucks, we know that overtime losses have been a big thing this year. That's why, thankfully, we have gotten them because we've been able to get some points. But those are games where we could get a 2-point swing and not just a 1-point consolation. But this is a game where we cannot afford for it to go into overtime. We can't afford for it to be as stressful as it has been for the Canucks this season. It's been a very tough year for the Canucks. It's been very inconsistent. It's been a lot of games where, hey, we should be winning this game, or we are winning this game and we choke it. this can't be one of those games that just gets away from us. We know how big this game is. This is going to be massive. I know Canucks fans are going to be all over Twitter tonight just watching to see what the reactions are going to be. They're going to be talking smack, especially because we're playing Calgary. There's going to be a lot of back and forth with Calgary fans. It's going to be interesting to watch with my popcorn as much as it is going to be to watch the game. Hopefully, I know Petey, he scored last night. Hopefully he can score again tonight. Filip Hronek getting Quinn Hughes back, that'll be a big boost for him as well. Hopefully those guys can get back to where they were at last season. I know this season their duo hasn't really translated as greatly. We've seen Hronek kind of almost play better, like I said, without Hughes this season. But nonetheless, you still cannot deny that they are a great duo, and I'm guaranteeing that they would definitely love to have each other on the same pairing, even even when considering their production levels. Their chemistry is still there, and with a game as big as this would be a perfect welcome back for Quinn Hughes to not only get a goal, but I'm calling a 1-1 night for Quinn Hughes. 1 goal, 1 assist. Hopefully he's able to get more than that, or just some other guys are able to get opportunities because of what he's able to do on the ice. Maybe not getting a primary, secondary assist, but still creating opportunities for this team, because that's what he is. That's what Quinn Hughes is for this team. He is the natural born leader. He is that opportunity creator for this team, and that's crazy to think coming from a defenseman where your main reliance for points and production is a defenseman. It's not very common in this league where we're seeing a lot of goal scorers be the front runners for players like that. But here we are in Vancouver where we're a defensive team. Like Patrik Allvin said, we can't win games 2-1 down the stretch and make the playoffs. However, we are the team where that's kind of been our identity of just scoring a lot of low-scoring games, winning a lot of close ones, not a lot of high-scoring ones on our side. And like I was saying to Mark last night, something that was just ironic that I thought of, it seems like the Canucks tend to score more goals when we don't put up 20-plus shots on net, and we seem to not score enough when we put up more than that. So I thought that was kind of interesting. I don't know if the numbers are exactly right on that. If anyone wants to fact check me on that, they can go ahead. But just based off what I've seen this season, Canucks, for some reason, we can score more goals on less shots than on more. So I don't know. That might just be me. Let me know if you guys think otherwise down in the comments. But the biggest thing, too, with this game is if the Canucks win this game, it's not only huge for their playoff chances, but also when looking at the remaining games that they have down the stretch. Within the Pacific Division, we got the Golden Knights twice, got the Flames, got the Kraken, Ducks, and Sharks each one more time. Then you got the Central Division where we got the Jets twice. That's going to be a pain in the butt. Then you got the Blackhawks, Utah as well, and St. Louis, Stars, Avalanche, and Wild. And then there's none for the Atlantic Division. Then in the Metropolitan Division, we're playing against JT Miller and now Carson Soucy again, where we play them one more time, the Devils one more time without Jack Hughes, the Islanders, and the Blue Jackets. So of all the teams left in the regular season with games that have with all these games that we have left in the regular season, the Canucks undoubtedly have the toughest stretch down to the playoffs to try and race in there. Golden Knights twice, that's not going to be fun. Then you have the Jets twice, that's not going to be fun because if we make it in the playoffs, we're probably going to be playing them. So at least it's good for us to get some tape on them, but we know how it's gone with the previous times of playing the Jets. Hasn't gone our way. Then you play them 2 more times, so hopefully that doesn't go horribly, but I'm anticipating us to probably lose one of, if not both of those games. Then you have Utah and St. Louis, who are hot on our tail as well. Dallas, they played us really tough the other night, and they really ran away with it at the end. Colorado, we've been able to have their number a little bit this year. Same with Minnesota, so I do like our chances there. And then going over to the East, that's where things are going to get a little tricky as far as the Rangers and the Islanders and the Blue Jackets. But hopefully we're able to steal some of those games there as well, especially against the Rangers. I know JT Miller and Carson Soucy are going to want a revenge game. We can't let them have that. That's if all these games are must win. At this point, every game is must win. But tonight in the Rangers game, those are probably two of the 4 most must win games, not only for the points, but also for team morale. Because if we can beat a team like the Rangers, I know that they're not the best of teams and they're kind of resurging a little bit, but it's more about beating JT Miller and Carson Soucy in that game. The Flames, this is about defeating a division rival and someone who is hot on our tail in the playoffs and ahead of us in the playoffs race right now. Then we got a lot more other tough games that are coming up ahead, but it's going to be a very stressful ride to the finish. It's not like last season where we were able to lock up that division and we were sitting nice and pretty and chilling, kicking our feet back until the playoffs started. No, it's not like that this time around. It's going to be a stressful ride to the end. It's going to be a very anxiety-inducing next few weeks for Vancouver Canucks fans, not only with the playoffs, but also with the looming free agency, with the Brock Boeser stuff and everything like that. But for everything, every step of the way, we are going to be bringing you guys updates. I know I'm stumbling a lot, but that's just because the game's going to be starting soon. I'm getting nervous. I'm nervous for the Vancouver Canucks because I've seen how things have gone this season. But here's the hoping. we can steal a game against a big opponent that shouldn't be a big problem, but they have been all season. But now we can go in and get a 4-point swing, in all honesty, when it could be a 2-point swing on the score sheet, but it could be a 4-point swing in the overall standings. But what do you guys think about this down below? How excited are you to have Quinn Hughes back in the lineup? What do you guys think our record is going to be down these final 18 games? And do you think ultimately the Canucks are going to squeeze into that final wild card playoff spot? Let us know down in the comments below. Let us know how excited you are for this game. But that's going to do it for this episode of Canucks Digest. Leave a like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell icon so you don't miss any updates when they drop. And a special thanks to our sponsor for this video for supporting us. But with that, I've been your host, Griffen.